Hi, this is Linda West with Living Live, and today I am here with Jason Freeman. And as you can see, we are not at my house, my normal location. We're at a different location today. We're going to be talking about your imperfect best lifestyle. Like, what does that mean? We're going to hear from Jason what that means to him and how he's been putting himself out there to share with people what that means and how they too can live their best lifestyle imperfectly. Is that the better way to put it? Is that okay?
Yeah. Sounds good.
So today we're going to share with you a book that he's written called Awkwardly Awesome, and then talking about his story, like how he got to where he is today. He's gracing stages all over the place and just making a huge impact. So Jason, welcome to the show. And let's see, Suns is on. Hey.
Sound.
Oh, sound is on. Okay,
Yay.
awesome. Yay. So let's talk about first, before we even get started, let's talk about what's happened in this last 40 minutes. So first of all, I left my house to meet Jason here, and there was a lot of traffic. There were 2 accidents on the freeway, so I ended up showing up a little bit late. And then by the time I got here, my computer decided it was time to do its computer updates. And I was like, okay, stuff happens. Like, Jason, we'll start when we can. And then it was taking longer and longer and longer. And then I got it set up, and then it's like, this is terrible lighting. You couldn't even see us. So then we had to move to...
We were in shadow, yeah. Massive shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whoa, shadows.
Whoa. And then we moved to this location, and then we go live. And then when we went live, found out that you couldn't hear us.
And thank you so much for telling us about the sound.
We had no idea. We could hear ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I thought we sounded good.
I thought so too. You missed a lot.
Yeah, we revealed the secret of life, wealth, and happiness.
And I don't know if we can totally repeat it, so we'll start over. But totally different. So thanks for being here. Again, you had Stephen De La Cruz and Robert Stern shared with us. There was no sound on our other one, so we got to cut that one short and start back over. So thanks for being here, Robert. Really appreciate it. So Jason, why don't you tell everybody, you were telling, so let's go ahead and tell again your story, like how you got started, and we're going back to your baby, like when you were born. So, don't worry, it's not going to be like a 4-hour show.
so problems, as we just illustrated, are so much a part of life. Every day there's minor, sometimes major problems, and so often we are like, why me? Why this problem? I could be so much more productive without this problem. And that's how I was most of my life.
I was too. Like, raise your hand if that was you. Yes.
Yay, give high five.
Yeah, yay for problem seekers. Problems. We literally were seeking problems. We were solving. I was seeking problems. I wasn't solving problems. Now I'm solving problems. Okay, so go on.
So anyway, my life started out with a big problem. When I was born, I came a few weeks early, and my umbilical cord got kinked like a garden hose, which makes it difficult for me to say my umbilical cord became kinked like a garden hose. As a result, I developed some coordination differences as well as a speech impediment. Now my glasses are sliding down, but it's not related to the cerebral palsy.
Are you sure?
Maybe. Blame my glasses on my birth.
There we go.
But my parents started me off right. You can imagine the shock of having a baby who's born with something. No one wants that. But instead of being like, oh, we have this problem, a problem child now, they instead were like, Jason, you are the best. You are the best. And how often do we go to our problems? Hey, problem, I'm glad to see you. You are the best.
Yep. Not very often.
but in that space, I was able to flourish as a little kid and just be me with all my uniquenesses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But around the time of fourth grade, I started looking around and going, something here is not like the others.
Okay.
And can
Okay.
you guess what that something was?
Yeah, them.
I,
It was you, right?
I wish I had that much self confidence.
Well, in fourth grade, I don't know about who really has a lot of self confidence in fourth grade, right? Yeah. So, okay, so you recognize that you were a little bit different than the other kids.
um, More than just a little bit different. I suddenly thought I had a huge problem on my hand.
Okay.
So my perspective shifted from being the best and this voice and coordination being just perfect for me to I talk really funny. I catch basketballs with my glasses. I throw shot puts backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I have a huge problem here.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question about that because with your parents telling you how great you were, and all this stuff, do you see that when you finally discovered that you were different, that was that a good or a bad thing if you're looking back?
What?
So, like, I'll give a great example. When my kids were born, my ex-husband, I left him when my daughter was 4 weeks old and my son was 14 months old. I just
Oh
walked out
God!
on him. But what happened
Wow!
was I didn't want my kids to hate their dad just because I did. So I always said nice things about him. And what ended up happening is when my daughter was 10 years old or so, she had to put him on a pedestal because I never shared with him any of the bads about him. So what I'm saying, so like your parents, like when our parents tell us we're the best at everything, we want our kids to be the best they can be. Like, so we mean well, right? So I meant well with my kids, but it didn't really turn out like I thought it would. So I'm just wondering, like, how did that work for you when you've got these fourth grade kids? I mean, were they merciless? Were they nice? How were they?
Oh my gosh! I'm glad you bring this up because there was one bully who unrelentingly was at me morning, noon, and night.
Mm-hmm,
Can
mm-hmm.
you imagine?
No, I can't. So how did you deal with that?
Um, guess who that bully was?
You.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. So,
Wow.
so, so, so like you helped your kids see one perspective of the father, which is beautiful, and that was a true perspective. There's always more. There's always so many ways we can tell the story. And when my folks said I was the best,
Mm-hmm.
they were absolutely right because I'm the best me in the world,
Yes.
and you are the best you in the world. They were absolutely right. In fourth grade, I just started really in on comparing, on thinking I shouldn't have a problem. How often do we all encounter a problem and be thinking like this shouldn't be happening to me? This is
Mm-hmm.
so unfair.
Mm-hmm.
How often do we do that?
Yeah, I know. I used to do it. I don't do that anymore, but I used to do it all the time. Like it was my reg. That was my mo. My method
Oh,
of operation was to poor me, why me. That's how I was. Yeah, but I've made a switch, in my mind, to realize that that's not the case at all. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Still, it's hard. Like
Yeah, it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but just learning how to do it. Yeah.
that switch is great. It's wonderful, but like right now, I can't send emails with my main email address because I'm getting a message that I've sent 150 emails in the last hour. I mean, it's some kind of virus or glitch or something. And even with all I know I'm not like, ooh, I have a problem. I can't send emails. How is this going to be the best?
Yeah.
It's really, it can take all we have to to create the best out of the problems that come our way.
Yeah.
At least I find that.
Yeah, I agree with you because it's finding the gold in everything. Because there's something there. Like maybe your email is telling you slow down, buddy, or maybe your email is saying, you know what, you don't need that for a while. Just take a break. Who knows? Like maybe that's what it's saying. It's like I noticed that in the old days when I would sit in traffic, I used to get so angry. Because I would get angry at myself, or get angry with the traffic or whatever. And now I'm like, oh well, it's no big deal. I guess I'm thinking the universe is telling me to slow down.
Yeah.
And so when I turn my thoughts into that, it makes it so I'm no longer a victim of what's happening, but now I am powerful over the situation to say, this is not going to affect me. Right? Like that.
So you're finding the gift in the situation, the way forward in the situation.
Yeah.
Instead of becoming overwhelmed by it and saying, see, I know my emails don't work. It means I shouldn't be emailing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. It's still an aggravation, but turning the way I think about it into something more positive, it just helps me make it through. Because I'm going through the situation anyway, so I can either go through aggravated or I can go through not aggravated. Like I get to make a choice. What's my choice? I choose not to be aggravated. I mean, I spent decades of aggravation. So like, why? I don't want to do that anymore. It's tiring.
Tiring and what other opportunities come up because you're more relaxed and more present, and you're looking around instead of honed in on the problem.
Yeah, truly, right? Because then I'm open to possibilities instead of being closed, because I'm so frustrated and closed off, aggravated, like not letting anything come my way. But so being allowing myself to be open to what's happening and looking at it more like a positive way, amazing opportunities come my way. So why don't you share with us some of the amazing things you've been doing lately? And I know you spoke at TED, and you have some speaking engagements you've done, and you have things you're working on, and talking about the imperfect best lifestyle. Like, what the heck does that even mean?
Thanks. It seems amazing to say, but I've done, for someone who spent years wanting to speak as little as possible. I would just keep asking people questions and get them talking so I didn't have to talk.
Okay.
But I've changed my ways, and I've done 15 speaking engagements so far this year.
Woo.
Some at high school, some to college classes. A business conference called Habitudes, which is amazing. A self-advocacy conference, a chamber of commerce. People say niche down in terms of speaking, but I like speaking out to everyone. And
how'd you make that shift? Because you were like from a person who wanted to speak as little as possible to now loving it and wanting to speak. What was it for you that made that shift for you?
I wish I could tell you that very concisely. I mean, it involves the love of so many people and the perspectives of so many people. Plus, about 10 years ago, I found yoga. Actually, three people told me, Jason, go to yoga, go to yoga. And I
Okay.
finally listened and
Mm-hmm.
went to a yoga class. And now, thousands of yoga classes later, I'm more, I feel more consistently relaxed than I ever have in my life.
Okay. That's awesome.
Which is huge because I used to consider myself as slightly conceited, but I used to consider myself the most stressed out person in the US of A.
Oh, wow.
And now I feel relaxed and
Are you now the most relaxed person in the USA?
I wouldn't go there, no.
That's funny. You said it was almost conceited. Yeah, saying the most stressed out person in the USA. They gotta take that title, right? And take the, boom, bring out the dukes. We're gonna fight over that. So you don't know when the precise moment was, but you know that yoga played a part in you being more relaxed. Which is that what kind of do you think that that kind of helped you to decide that I'm ready to go ahead and speak on a stage now, or speak in front of people? Maybe not even on a stage, but like just speaking in front of people.
Yeah, see, it was like a chain reaction. One of my teachers was involved in laughter yoga, and if you haven't heard of laughter yoga, check it out on YouTube.
Laughter yoga.
It's a hoot. It's a hoot.
Is that their slogan? It's
No.
laughter yoga. It's a hoot.
Yeah, it should be. So then from there I was speaking at an all American laughter yoga conference
Okay.
in Colorado, and something happened between me and my audience, like like they were giving me so much love, and I was giving them so much love, and after that, I'm like, wow, could it be that this voice that I've spent so much time hating is actually a gift?
Wow.
And I love telling that story because wherever we are in the room, if we're speaking on stage, or if we have in the audience, we have so much power to influence what's going on just by giving our energy. Like that crowd in Estes Park changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful to
Yeah.
them.
That's so amazing because thinking about what you just said there, as far as like you gave love, they gave love, right? Which made you feel even more love, and then it's kind of circular,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah, very circular.
and then the circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger, or more contained, maybe because it's like more compact, and there's so much packed into one little punch, you know. But it's really awesome how seeing how the voice that you avoided sharing for so many years, and your discovery was that it's not about the voice and the way I sound, it's the words that actually come from my mouth that can impact the lives.
It's the words that come from my mouth and the energy I'm displaying.
Mm-hmm.
When I was going around really, I don't like the thing and I'm angry about it. I mean, that's just not an. I mean, I empathize with the energy I have, but it's not an inspiring and like you wouldn't have said, "Hey, Jason, come over and be on my show and be angry and downtrodden on my show because that's what people want."
Yeah, exactly, right. Well, some people do want that.
Yeah, well, that's
you can watch the news for that.
Yeah, you can watch. That was a
good one.
Watch the news.
High five for me. Yeah, you can watch the news for all the negativity you want. Go watch the news. But if you want positive stuff, you got to come to my show, Living Life.
Yeah,
for sure. So what's next for you? Okay, wait. Talk about speaking on the TED event. Was that Colorado Springs? I think
that was in Houston, Texas.
Houston. Okay, Texas, that's right. That's where my son lives. Yeah,
in the suburb of Houston, Texas.
What was that like? Like getting prepped for it. How did you get selected? What was it like to be on the stage? What has happened after? All of that stuff.
Getting prepped for it, I had a great coach or a few great coaches. One who helped me a lot. Her name's Harmony Sedona, and she was just with me week after week. We
Mm-hmm.
would Zoom and just she she took me from a speech that didn't really make sense to to the talk I gave, which went really well.
Yeah, it was great. I watched it. So I'll drop a link to it in the comments below. So for those who are watching, you go in the comments below. I'll put a link to his TED talk, and then also I'll put it in the description up above, so they can go watch it because it's great and share it out. Share it out. Okay, so Harmony then was she? Because I don't know all the ins and outs of TED, but is that when you get selected to speak at TED? What I understand is that you get assigned a coach and they work with you. Now, is that a like, do you pay for that coaching, or is that coaching that's included with the TED Talk? How does that work?
For this particular venue, I found my own coach.
Okay.
So I think it varies somewhat from TED because there's TEDx events all over the country, and
Yeah.
I think it just varies between events.
Okay. Okay. So then she helped you hone in on your talk, and then now you're on the stage. Like, what did it feel like walking up to that stage? I don't know. I would, for me, I'm wondering if it would be intimidating. That's what I'm wondering.
It I the, I didn't get intimidated about this talk, but there was one time I had an opportunity to speak in front of 800 people,
Oh wow.
and I let myself get really intimidated before that talk,
Okay.
and I still once I finally watched the video, it was fine,
Okay.
but I walked off that stage like, oh my gosh, I just bombed.
But you got people are applauding and stuff, and you did a great job.
Yeah, but that happens sometimes when we go for what we want in life, whether it's a speaking gig, a job interview, or whatever. Sometimes we feel intimidated,
Mm-hmm.
and can we really acknowledge that intimidation and be kind to it and still walk forward?
Yeah, true, true. Now, do you have a routine or a what's the word I want to use? Like a ritual that you do before you get up on a stage?
Like popping a
La la
little.
la 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 or anything.
I was
No.
going with a popping a little chewing tobacco and spit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Is that what you're
yeah,
doing?
your ritual was much more. I was thinking baseball players.
Oh, okay. Well, is that what you do?
No, oh my god, yuck. But my ritual is not so much before getting on stage, but it's yoga as often as I can.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in town, I go to class. I don't have a solo practice, and then when I wake up, I just lie. The alarm goes off, and I lie in bed and and turn one way and breathe for 5 minutes and focus on my breath and
Mm-hmm.
focus on sounds and the alarm goes off and I turn the other way and focus on breath and focus on
Oh,
sounds and thoughts still come up all the time but I try as much as I can to refocus on my breath and sometimes I fall back to sleep
mm-hmm.
but as simple as it sounds, doing doing that routine daily has it's been amazing. From I'm much more relaxed. I call it the lazy person meditation,
Okay.
or sometimes the imperfect best
Yeah, you haven't even gotten out of
meditation.
bed yet.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
I love how you're using your snooze. You're using a snooze button as your timer for your meditation time. And that's amazing. I would never think of that.
Yeah, I don't know how I honestly don't know how this meditation came to me. I just
Hmm.
started doing it one day, and I found I love it because if I have to, if I feel I have to get up and sit on a meditation cushion, I find that uncomfortable, and I'm not going to do it as often.
Right, right.
But doing this consistently really helps.
That's cool. So you can do like a quick video called the alarm clock meditation or something.
The alarm clock meditation,
There, see
I
that
like it.
you can create your own little how to do meditation, how to use your alarm clock for meditation or something like
Oh,
that.
I
You could
like
totally
that.
do a video. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I
Give me
like
credit.
it.
You don't have to give me credit.
I like
I don't
it.
need credit. But no, I think that would be great. I like that idea because for me, the alarm clock represents the end of sleep. Because like I got to get up. My alarm clock goes off because I got to get up. But if I turn then the alarm clock into like a more of a moment of this is my opportunity to be able to like sit or lay and be with myself and take that time to meditate, it would turn the alarm clock into a totally different personality. Because right now it's a personality of wake up, right? But then it could turn your alarm clock into it's time to wake up and start your day or something like that.
Wow,
Right?
wow, that's amazing.
Because
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm sure you don't like you look forward to your alarm clock going off, and you don't like look forward to it. But when it goes off, you don't get angry with it.
No, no, because I know it's going to be relaxation
Exactly.
and breathing for the next half hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, and it's
Or
all
40 minutes,
right,
not,
right. So it's
yeah.
talking about like triggers, right? Things that trigger us. So whether it's trigger us in a good way or trigger us in a bad way. So when alarm clock goes off, typically, like my alarm
Mm.
clock goes off at 5 in the morning. I'm
Oh,
not a morning.
dude.
I'm not a morning person.
Oh.
So when my alarm clock goes off, I'm like, oh, I gotta get up because I'm not ready because I didn't go to bed early enough. My
Oh,
own
yeah.
fault. But then if I turn it into a happy trigger, like when the alarm clock goes
Oh,
off, I
yeah.
get something fun to
Wow,
do,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or like if the alarm clock goes off and you're getting ready to go to Disneyland, that's good. I'm glad the alarm clock went off. Alarm clock goes off and you're getting ready to go to work. That's not so good. You're like, I gotta go to work. so turn it into a positive. Yeah.
So I never thought about this until this conversation,
Hmm.
but the alarm clock going off is usually experienced as a
Yeah. Yeah.
problem in turning that problem into a gift, which is kind of what we're
Yeah. Which is what you
talking about.
did, and not even like consciously doing that, right? Because you
Yeah,
automatically did
yeah,
it without even consciously like saying, "Oh, this is a problem. I'm going to turn it into a gift." No, you
yeah,
just
yeah,
did it, and it
yeah.
worked for you.
That's amazing, and I didn't realize that until now.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. So you should try that. I think it's great. Now, it would wake up my husband and he'd be like, "Why does the alarm clock going off so many times? Maybe I can have him meditate too." I'm gonna try that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Maybe you both can do it.
yeah. I think I'm gonna try that. Of course he'll probably already be up by the time I Okay, so let's talk about, imperfect best lifestyle. What does that mean?
So actually, we've been talking about it
The whole
since
time.
we've gotten on here. It means that we acknowledge the reality of what is my voice sounds different. That's the reality of what it is. But and and it could be considered an imperfection, like most anything could. But then once we acknowledge the reality of what it is and how we feel about it in the moment, the next question is how do we use this what is to create the best
Mm.
we can.
Oh, I love that. That's so true. And like, who's to say? Because you said, my voice sounds different. But who's to say your voice sounds different? Maybe my voice sounds different,
Yeah,
right?
see.
So who's making the decision? Who's making the decision as to who is good, who is bad, who is right, who is wrong. Who's making that decision? Like with society, if you think about it, um, I'll use an example. There are a lot of women out there who wear a lot of makeup. There are a lot of women who don't wear any makeup. And there are a lot of women out there who try to do the natural. Like I try to go for more like the natural makeup. So who's to say whose is the right or the best? Well, the woman wearing a lot of makeup might look at a woman not wearing any makeup and say, those, that's not, they don't look very good, say all these kinds of things. A woman wearing no makeup might look at a woman wearing a lot of makeup and saying, that looks ridiculous. Why is she doing that? You know what I mean? So who's to decide who's right? It doesn't even matter. There is no right and wrong.
Yeah,
It's just about being. It's like if this woman wants to do that and this woman wants to do that, just let them be and let them be them. That's their imperfect best.
And can you imagine if every woman in the world wore the same makeup?
How boring would it be?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So being I mean, when by allowing ourselves to be ourselves, we add variation to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like companies are looking to innovate and find a very unique product for a marketplace.
Right.
But ironically, us as people, when we approach uniqueness in ourselves, so often we're like, no, I don't want to be unique. I don't want to be different. But that variation sometimes is the thing that can inspire our lives and inspire other people.
Definitely. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm thinking back to maybe like junior high and high school, how I always wanted to be like those other girls, so I would get the same kinds of shorts, the same kind of shirt, wear the same hair, wear the same shoes, and just be as much like them so I could fit in. Right. So we strive during those years in our lives to fit in. A lot of us, I shouldn't say all, because I know not all people do, but we strive to fit in. And then now, as I get older, I'm striving to fit out. I don't want to fit in anymore. I don't want to fit. I want to just be me. And so if me happens to fit in, great. But if me doesn't, great. It doesn't matter, because I'm being me. And that's awesome, right? To be able to just be you and be happy with who you are. Because at fourth grade, you all of a sudden were like, I'm a bully to myself.
Yeah.
I'm a bully to myself because I this or I that. Why me this? Why me that? Or whatever. And
why can't I fit in? I must be wrong. I must be bad. I should be myself.
Yeah. So when did you kind of make that mindset shift as to not worrying so much again about like what people thought about you and realizing that you are perfect by being imperfect?
It's been a gradual process. Like I relaxed somewhat in my 20s and early 30s, but it's really been in the last 10 years that transformation has taken place. And actually, the more I have conversations like this, where I talk about, where I own my gifts, talk about the bully of the past, these conversations are immensely healing for me, and I hope for the audience. And speaking of our uniqueness, we've owned it enough that you read in a book.
He carried my book. I don't even carry my own book. He carried my book here. Yeah, The Year of Fears, and then Awkwardly Awesome is up here. So Awkwardly Awesome.
Yeah, let's switch. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
I don't like that book. I wrote this book. And it'd be bizarre if we just literally had written books with each other's pictures on the cover.
That would be a little strange.
It would be.
Yeah.
But
awesome. Well, I'm gonna I'll put a link to your Awkwardly Awesome in the description as well as in the comments below. So you go and click on that link and get his book. And I might as well put mine in there since you shared it here. The Year of Fears. I'll put a link to mine as well in
Yeah.
the comments and in the
Yeah,
description.
yeah. Your book is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
What I
Tell me more. Tell me more.
what I love is like I'll read a sentence and I'm like think in my mind, wow, that's really true. That's what I really think. Instead, and it's like you're not glossing things up too. You're saying it like it is, and that's a real skill in this role where we try to gloss things up. So
Yeah.
and when we
Thank you.
gloss things up, we sometimes lose track of what our own reality is and what we really believe.
Yeah. That's interesting you say that because I used to be a people pleaser. I was a people pleaser for most of my life. And then just recently, I'd say maybe within the last year, I started to make this shift of that. It's not that I don't care what people think of me, but I don't let what they think of me affect me. So they can say all they want of me because it doesn't matter for me because I'm not going to let it penetrate. Right. So
Mm.
I deflect it right back off. Like it doesn't affect the way I am, the way
That's the energy. That's
yes.
yeah.
Right. Bounce it right off of me. And so in writing the book, there were some things that like there was one thing I think you even mentioned it the other day. I said something about such and such and makes me want to hurl. Or does this ever make you want to hurl?
Um,
And
it's right.
is it on that page? What was interesting though is as I wrote that, Jason, I almost didn't want to put that in the book because I thought that might offend people. But then that was when I realized that I needed to put it in because that's how I speak. Because when I wrote my book, I actually spoke it out. I spoke out my book so that it would have my actual voice to it. And then writing that was something I was fearful of, but I went ahead and put it in anyway.
Okay,
So you found it?
here's the line. If you're at all like me, the thought of budgeting makes you want to
Yeah.
hurl.
Yeah.
I can't say that word, so not very well.
Pearl.
Hurl, yeah, yeah, but I mean, I read that and I'm like, that's true. And I often think, oh, I should make a budget.
Yeah.
Or,
Even you saying it makes me want.
or something like that, but just to flat out acknowledge that right now it makes me want to throw up. It's cathartic
Yeah.
and then can move forward from that point of honesty instead of pretending we feel a different way about budgeting.
Right. And it's like sharing yourself in your book, like who you really are, honestly, just being honest with yourself, because it doesn't matter about being honest for them. It's about being honest and true to yourself and putting that out there. It's a risk we take, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you do a video or you do a blog post, anytime you're putting yourself out in the public eye, there's a risk that you're taking that they might not agree with you, that they might have comments about you that are negative. But it's a risk. Like for me, I'm willing to take that risk now and I'm ready to step into it, not let it affect me. Just like I was saying, just don't let it affect me. Yeah. It sounds like that's what you're doing too.
That's powerful.
That's what you're doing too, though, right?
It's powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. So who out there wants to get themselves out there and speak and share your imperfect best. So as long as you're being your best, that's all you can ask of anybody. There's a lot of us who, grew up in environments where our best wasn't good enough. But you know what? I'm telling you what, your best is good enough because this is about you living your life to be the best person that you can be, not the best person that someone else thinks you should be.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, that's writer downer.
Yeah, it is.
Lately I've been saying some things that like when they come out, I'm like, oh my God, that was good. I got to make a meme out of that, because it's fun to make those memes. Those are a lot of fun. So what do you want to end the show with? Like, share with our audience, like what's something you really want to share with them and make sure that they walk away with some really great value about their imperfect best lifestyle.
So I want to just remember. I mean, problems are going to come up each day, big ones, small ones, and reflexively we go, oh my gosh, another problem that shouldn't be. But
Oh,
next, oh yeah,
they're up there.
I'm looking at the computer.
Okay, yeah, tell them.
Um, yeah, if I've been looking down the whole time, that's but problems are going to come up. The part of life. So next time one comes up, first of all, acknowledge your feelings towards it. In the moment, are you frustrated? Are you angry? Are you overwhelmed? Do you feel guilty? Whatever. Then, then be like, huh. So this is what I've got. So, so, so what's my next move? Do I try to figure it out myself? Do I ask for help? And the very important question is how can I move forward with my life
Hmm.
and see opportunities even though there's problems in my life? Because our problems do not need to ruin our day. They're just something that's in life. So how can I stay present to other opportunities while I'm dealing with this? And for extra credit, how can I make this problem into a gift?
Ooh. So acknowledge it, and then ask like how I can resolve it by do I get help or do I figure it out myself? And then the bonus point was how can I turn it into a gift? Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. Well, Jason, thank you so much. And let's see, you can find Jason. Let me put it on the screen here at jasonwfreeman.com and go check him out. And again, I'll put a link to his book, jasonwfreeman.com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, jasonwfreeman.com. I'll put a link to his book, Awkwardly Awesome, in the comments as well as up in the description. Go check it out. Absolutely amazing. I really love his book. It's just like a fun, the way he explains things is really always, just fun and funny. Fun and funny
Huh.
at the same time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you guys have a great day. This is Linda West with Living Live. And hey, Jason, why
I'm
don't you?
liking down at this.
Yeah, look up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell everybody why you love me. This is my new
Um,
thing.
love you, Linda, because you're just very inspiring. You in a few years you've gone from working a job that was no longer fulfilling
Mm.
and being really not having fun with that to surrounding yourself. They say surround yourself with amazing people, and
Hmm.
you've taken that to heart.
Yeah, too extreme, right?
Yeah. I won't go into details, but we're in this big house right now, not because either of us own it, but because Linda is very connected to amazing people, and that's a phenomenal gift to
Mm.
be able to authentically connect and show people you love them instead of being like, oh my gosh, you're a famous person.
Oh, right,
I'm
right.
going to act really strangely
Yeah.
towards you. So you famous person get nervous and don't want to talk to me because I'm acting strangely towards you. But
That's a good point.
you somehow really understand how to be kind to people and treat people whoever they are as people and show them
Hmm.
respect, but not go over the tie.
Yeah, I've had my moments.
It's an art form.
Thank
And
you.
I admire that greatly.
Well, thank you. I have had my moments, by the way, where like fangirl, you know, for with somebody. I'm like, okay, stop it, Linda, because I recognize that I'm in fangirl mode, and so I just have to like calm myself down. So that's my new thing, is to ask the person I interview, if I remember, you know, what do you love about me? So I can give my testimonials. Smart.
Yeah, really smart.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, so this is Linda West with Living Live with Jason Freeman of jasonwfreeman.com.
Isn't laying down.
No, look up there.
Gosh.
They're always going to be up there. And you guys have a great day, and make sure you live your life awkwardly awesome.
And that you embrace your imperfect best.
Yes, your imperfect best. I love it. Thank you so much, Jason. I'm sure I'll have you on the show again, maybe in 2 more years.
Yeah.
And we'll see where we both are at that point, right?
Yeah.
I might be way too famous for you by then.
Yeah, you might be.
I might be.
Or this might be your house by then.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I mean, one of these.
Well, you know, actually somebody the other day said to me, you're the most famous, unfamous person I know. And I thought that's so funny because I'm out there a lot, but I'm not famous, you know, like infamous, like to the world, right? I mean, I'm on the internet, and yeah. So I thought that was funny. I just thought that was funny. Something to chuckle at, you know.
Yeah.
I'm shooting for the other, though.
Yeah. Me too.
I think it's less pressure this way, though.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I don't want paparazzi following me around. I just want paparazzi following me around.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go, Jason. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Have a great day, and see you soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye.